it's really interesting because in a community like this, we have a lot of people who like to help other people, who like to help other people. And it's beautiful, right? We have discovered these secrets, they're changing our life. And so then there then is a very natural thing that happens where you really want other people to do this stuff also. And you really want other people, Carrie, you really want everybody to have gotten all the memos, and you really want them to do the work, and you really want to let them know that, hey, being negative doesn't help, and being, hey, that's a story you're telling yourself. And now that I think about it, I've listened to you tell the story for 15 years, right? And so there you start becoming hyper aware of yourself, but you also start becoming hyper aware of other people. So you get this mix of emotions, or you get this mix of experience where you want to help, and now you're noticing people don't necessarily do these things because you're learning them and you're doing them for the first time. And so then you get that. So then it's common to have this energy of, oh man, people need to do this, or people aren't doing this. Or, oh gosh, I really want to tell people what to do. And I really want to let them know what they're doing doesn't make sense if they really understood this. And so now we can have this mixed energy in our bodies about other people, about whether they are on their path or not, whether they are doing a good job or not, whether they are navigating their life well enough or not, whether they could be doing more intentional work or not. And so can you guys feel how messy that feels? Like, you guys know how messy it feels when, like, you want to share and you want people to be different. So this is a little reminder. This is a little reminder that the best thing we can do when it comes to other people is practice seeing them as perfect already. Because not everybody is ready for this kind of work. And if somebody's not ready for this kind of work, you telling them to do it and even muscle arming them to do it is actually harmful. It's not helpful. And so we can really carry these sentiments in our bodies about other people. Like, oh man, like, don't you see it's harmful to tell these stories? Oh, don't you see that you could change that if you wanted? And now can you feel how heavy it is to claim responsibility for where somebody is on their path and what they are doing? It's really too much. It's too much because most of the time when we are judging somebody, whether they are doing it or not, we're usually more aware of what they are not doing than what they are doing. What they are not doing rather than what they are doing. And so whenever we are looking at somebody and are aware of what they are not doing, we are co-creating in the energy of them not doing. And so we want to be really careful to manage and be aware of our own narratives about what other people are or are not doing. Because what we want to do is the best thing we can do is look at people through the eyes of source, through the eyes of source energy, through the eyes of God, through the eyes of the universe. If we want to know what opinion we should be wiggling around for, right? Usually we could wiggle around, right? It could be like, oh, this doesn't really totally feel good, but with a little bit of work, I could wiggle over here. And so if we want to know where to land ourselves, we would ask, well, what does source energy think about this person and where they are? And source energy is always going to be looking at every single person with pure love, with pure, you're on your path and you're doing this and you're perfect where you are. And you are navigating life just the way you intended to do it. And so we then have an opportunity, at least for me, I had to really make this switch. And I had really had to originally make the switch in coaching people. And this was years ago, maybe about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I heard in Abraham about how most coaches energetically were not helping anybody because most coaches were looking at people in the energy of, you really need to do this thing you're not doing. And I can help you. And I can help you because you need help. And I am going to come in here and do this for you because you need help. Right. And in a coaching energy, if my energy was like, you guys really need help, I'm actually energetically activating a part of you that needs help and isn't aware that you have everything you have on the inside. And so, of course, as a less seasoned coach, you feel like, oh yeah, I really like to help people. Oh, and yeah, like this works really, like people really need to do this work. And yeah, like I'm gonna help you do this work. And I had to then intentionally start practicing looking at every single client as whole already, as perfectly on their path, as somebody who didn't need me, but as somebody who enjoyed doing this stuff with me. And so that, 5 years ago, probably took a year or two to become the default way I looked at clients or people in general as, hey, you don't need me. I don't have the power to help you. What I do is I really love doing this one thing. I love rewriting. I love talking about the nuances of law of attraction. And if you're here to talk to me right now, you've co-created this. We've both manifested this interaction together. And so you've already get full responsibility. Like you've just manifested powwowing with me, right? So if you are here, even though it might look to the outside like you're getting help, really you are in the middle of manifesting your solution. You are in the middle of being on your path. So being able to consistently look at every single person, being like, okay, you're perfect. Let's party. Hey, let's party. Let's do this together. Let's do this together. And so if we kind of translate that to when we're looking at people in our lives, we can start practicing looking at all the people that we actually are judging. It doesn't happen naturally, but there's an opportunity to start looking at every single person that we think should be different and start practicing looking at them the way source energy looks at them, which is, you're perfect, you're on your path, you're made of pure love, you are participating in a world full of contrast, which ultimately leads to expansion and more love. And I don't have to understand the details of your intentions being here, and I don't have to understand your path, and I certainly don't understand what's going on inside of you. But what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at you and know for sure that you can navigate life, and know for sure that you have the same access to the stream of love I have, and know for sure you are on your path, learning about your freedoms to choose. And it might be easy for me to judge whether you do this or you don't do this, or whether you could do it more, or whether you should or whatnot. But what I can tell is, as soon as I look at you and start thinking about what you should do, I'm completely cut off from that source energy. Because the energy of looking at somebody with what you should do is not the energy of flowing love. And this comes back to this concept I fold in periodically, the difference between cognitively or conceptually loving and unconditionally flowing love. On some level, we can all say that we love people. There's somebody that we love, and we're just like, of course, I love my child. I love my mother. But that's not really the important question. The important question is, am I flowing love? Am I flowing love towards them? And if you're wondering whether you are flowing love towards them or not, you can just ask yourself one really simple question. When I'm thinking about you, do I feel good? Or when I'm thinking about you, do I feel worry? Now, if you wanted to double check this even more, if you're like, gosh, I don't know, I do feel like I love them, and that's why I'm worrying, Alleah, then the question to validate whether you are feeling love or feeling good is, would you like to feel this way every single day for the rest of your life? If you enjoy that feeling so much that you would like it to be on repeat, you are flowing love. And that is the important thing, flowing love. And that's where this concept of unconditional love comes in, because now we're looking at, can I look at somebody I conceptually love, see them in a tricky situation, and still flow love with practicing narratives of, you're on your path and I love you. You're on your path and I love you. I'm not going to worry about you. You can navigate this. You got this. You got this. You're in the middle of contrast, which means expansion is coming. This is part of the process. You got this. You're perfect. You're perfect where you are. I love you. You're on your path. I love you. You're on your path. And as we lead into this narrative, we reconnect with source. It feels good. We feel love. And then we say, yes, of course, I want to feel this way for the rest of my life. Then we know we're flowing love. And then we know that we, in that moment, are really doing the only thing that we really can do for anybody, which is be able to be in their presence and be flowing love. So in order to get there, we have to start asking ourselves, am I aware of the internal sentiment I have about this person? Do I think they should be doing something differently? Am I worried about them? Do I feel like they need to make different decisions? Do I feel like they need to do more work like I do? Because all of that makes you need to breathe deeper very quick, because you can feel that it just doesn't feel good to really hold that in our bodies. So we realize that's not feeling good. That's not me flowing love. Okay, let me shake it off. Let me come back to what I actually know, which is what source actually knows, which is, you're on your path and you got this. I don't need to understand the details, but you are on your path and you got this. You're on your path and you got this. So if any of you are feeling like, oh yeah, I totally, even me, right? Well, I'm kind of like doing some of the last cleanups with stuff with my mother. My mom says to me the other day, she goes, it's so funny when I'm watching your videos and all of a sudden there's a video about me. She watches them all. She knows exactly. It's like, yeah, I know. I tell everybody how, you're probably one of the last people that I'm still cleaning up, maybe reacting to sometimes. And so it's your mother, right? Of course, like some of the people you conceptually love with the most. Indeed, it's the hardest to really break that habit. But I'm in that process of really being like, okay, you know what? I'm going to really let my mom off the hook. Like, I'm going to stop trying to control her diet. I'm going to stop trying to control what she is, her sentiments and her opinions on things. Like, let's let her fucking be. Just let her be, because she is on her path. And so I'm sharing this with you so you don't feel like you need to strive for perfection or get the illusion that I'm somehow perfect with all of this work. However, setting the intention to feel, when you start catching yourself feeling like somebody else should be doing something different, when really the only thing that should be happening is checking what we are focusing on, because whatever we focus on grows. Our eyes are like little laser beams, and whatever we are looking at, we are energetically feeding, whether we want that thing to grow or not. So if we are looking at somebody not doing something and we're consistently thinking about how they don't do this thing, we are actually feeding energy into them not doing it, and frankly, making it near impossible for them to do it. This is an intentional, long, dramatic pause right here. As we look at something somebody's not doing, we make it nearly impossible for them to do it. So when we catch ourselves, we can just start leaning into, they're on their path and I love them. They're on their path. They're on their path. Okay, listen. Okay, do as you see fit. I can't navigate you, it's even me. I can get caught up in like some little like things that I think are good, like eating something or not eating something. And then, and then you can feel like you're giving somebody good advice. But really, we do not know what is good for somebody else. We do not know what they should be doing, because for all we know, they have a deep, deep desire to have massive expansion. And that massive expansion can't come until they have some sort of massive contrast. So if we're trying to take away their contrast, we in essence could also be taking away from the massive expansion. And so that's why when we really can see that the core of who we are, the core of what we can do is be conduits of love and conduits of good energy and be practicers of source energy's opinion that everybody's perfect and everybody's on their path and everybody is capable.